doing?
Good morning. It is Thursday morning. We are 10 days out from Ironman 70.3 World Championships in Lahti, Finland, and things are going well. In my last video, I talked about sleep. I've been focused on sleep. The last couple of days, I've gotten more than 7 hours. Last night, I got more than 8 hours of sleep, which is amazing. And I've got a little later start this morning as far as a meeting. Don't need to be back here till 9. All I have is a bike ride today. I'll probably do that around lunchtime. But now I'm gonna get the dog out for a walk. Golf ball. This time of year in California, there are orb spiders. I believe they're called orb spiders. They're spiders with the big butts on them, and they are everywhere in the mornings. When you go out for walks, you need to stay, almost ran into one, completely aware, because they string these webs across the pathways and you will literally walk right into a spider on the face. And they're pretty much harmless, but they are big. So they're pretty freaking scary looking. Because I was feeling pretty run down and my legs just weren't turning over, it was mainly on the run that I was noticing it. I wasn't feeling it on the swim or the bike, but we've decided to cut back on the volume a little bit this week and keep the intensity up. So I've reduced my running mileage, which isn't ideal because my last longest run was the race a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, she tired? Right there behind that chair, that's where she spends most of her day, especially after a nice long walk. While I was out on my walk, I received a question from someone on Instagram. They also watch my videos, Patrick Lang. Thank you so much. Always a great supporter. But he shot me a question and I thought I would answer it in a video instead of just writing back to him. The question was, hello Chris, I think it's great that you have the time and desire to make YouTube videos again. You also do a podcast. So my question is, do you listen to podcasts? So I'll answer that. And you always look so fit, fresh, healthy. Might be because I only record when I'm in a good mood. I was actually just talking to Tony about that. Tony, who is the co-host of the OC Endurance podcast. Him and I are going to Finland. I'm staying with him. That the last few weeks, I've just struggled to pick up the camera, start making videos, things aren't going well, whatever it is, and I didn't put a video together. And he reminded me that that is exactly the time that I should be making videos, because I want to share all of the reality, be transparent, not only record when things are going good. So I need to get better at that. Back to the question of I always look so fit, fresh, and healthy. Do I take any vitamins or supplements? And if so, which ones and for what? Thank you, Patrick. I do take a few, let me put this on here. You're not very level. I do take a few vitamins and supplements. I do use the normal training supplements that I use, carb powders, things like that, Vitargo, LMNT, but outside of training, I do also use protein powders. Depends on the time. I like trying different ones. So no necessarily particular protein powder, but I do use that. I use a casein protein sometimes before I go to bed at night, kind of for recovery. And then I use a whey protein. I've tried a bunch of the plant-based proteins and haven't found one that I particularly like. So I still stick to whey most of the time, but I use a whey protein primarily in the morning post-workout when I make my protes. So I make oatmeal mixed in with protein. So I'm using that as a supplement. Outside of that, I take some vitamins. The first vitamin I take is vitamin D. And vitamin D was recommended just for general immune system, things like that. So I take a 5,000 IU vitamin D pill every day. The other pill I take is a CoQ10 coenzyme pill. This is just one that was highly recommended on Amazon. I've heard Again, good for just general health, good for immune system. And recently I heard from my buddy Gary that it was recommended that he take that because it actually helps with cramps. So when racing, things like that, if you suffer with cramps, that this actually, I'd never heard, can tend to help solve or reduce cramping. Third pill or vitamin I take is magnesium. And I take that because what I have read is that it improves sleep, energy level, mood, supports better muscle and nerve function. And the last one I take, and these I take on a regular daily basis, is vitamin C. And this is another one that supports healthy immune system. I have been considering adding a men's multivitamin into my daily routine of pills, vitamins that I take. So if you have one that you recommend or that you really like, leave it in the comments below. Or if there is another supplement or vitamin that you're taking that you think is really critical to keeping your performance up and just general health, leave that in the comment below as well. I am also continuing to try and be really good about drinking a lot of water, trying to get in at least 96 ounces every single day. So that is something that I constantly have to be aware of and thinking about, and keeping this bottle filled. And when I get to the bottom, immediately fill it again so that I can continue to stay hydrated. Quick little update on the garden. The tomato season is starting to wind down. There are still a lot of green tomatoes that haven't come in, but in general, the bulk, the mass tomatoes, we were getting, it felt like 100 a day or more, that started to taper off. Christina has done a ton of canning, making soup, making salsa, making sun-dried tomatoes, making all kinds of every single thing you can make with tomatoes. It's been made. So season is winding down, still quite a bit out there. And now the persimmons tree, it's got some really nice persimmons on it. Those probably won't be ready till October. Apple tree is pretty much done with all of the apples. And the avocado tree has a ton of avocados. And the fig tree, so close, getting really, really close to figs being ripe.
Strength in depth, and the United States on the women's side would certainly be one.
Red Child Kimball, and we've seen her just racing to get the points. And
It is lunchtime. I'm gonna knock out my 1 hour bike ride. It's been a while, so I can't remember. I believe I showed you guys that I purchased a box for my bike. It is a triathlon specific bike from Bike Box Allen, which is in the UK. While the price isn't that bad, it's about $600, the shipping almost doubles the cost, which is the worst part. But I know they're looking for US distributors. I really hope they find one. The Bike Box is super nice. I did a test run last week with Tony, took the Canyon, figured out what needed to be disassembled. I need to take off both wheels. The wheels mount on the outside of the box. Then I'm going to remove the back derailleur and the hanger so that way it does not get broken, pull the chain off, and then loosen the aero bars so that they drop down so that they fit in this portion really nicely. Got a bunch of Velcro straps, padding. When I pack the bike, I will show that to you. But I did purchase a few things. One, I got 6 of the TSA locks. They're combo locks. I can put my own combination in, and they mount on all 6 of these little latches. The other thing I purchased is a spare bottom hanger for my Canyon derailleur. That is one of the things that is often broken when traveling. And I went ahead and bought the Pro Bike Tool kit for assembling, disassembling. It has a torque wrench in it. So you've got your torque wrench, you've got an extension here, you've got all of the different metric Allen keys. I can take that with me, nice and easy to disassemble, reassemble. And then I also picked up a couple of the connectors for my chain, just in case for some reason when I pop the chain off, I were to break or damage one of these. I wanted to make sure I had spares of that. I think that pretty much covers it as far as parts I need for the bike. If my bike weighed 50 pounds or less, it would be a spare piece of luggage. It is large, but it wouldn't cost me more than a single piece of luggage. Or because I use Delta and I have the Delta card and I have Delta status, I fly with that. So a lot of times it would be free. But this bike box with my bike is basically 50 pounds without anything in there. It's questionably even maybe just a little bit over. So because of that, I believe I'm gonna have to pay the overage fee, which means it's $100 each way for my bike, but that gives me 25 extra pounds. So bike shoes, hydration, helmet, other things like that. I'll pack all of that in the bike box and my pump, just stuff like that. So since I'm paying for 75 pounds, I might as well pack it and then put less in my luggage. Now, knock out this 1 hour ride. Today I'm doing a workout called Carson on Trainer Road. It's 1 hour long. It is 6 5 to 7 minute intervals at 88 to 94% FTP, a couple 2-minute easy spins between each interval. Goal of this one is really muscular endurance. So should be a good one. Should be some nice steady work. And after this, I've got about 4 hours of work to do. Then off to soccer practice. Right now, the girls have sports Monday through Thursday. So 4 nights during the week, about 2 hours each night. That pretty much occupies my evenings. I do try and get some longer walks in there just to keep the legs moving. And that's pretty much it for day 10 or 10 days out from the race. Well, that is it. I have 3 minutes left to cool down. That was not too bad. Intervals were about 240 watts, so felt really good. 5 to 7 minutes, not a problem. I have noticed one thing, at least maybe it's just in my head, and maybe one of you have experience with this as well. Since going to my Quark power meter in the canyon, I feel like it is at least 20 or 30 watts harder to pedal. So say I was at, like, my FTP using Kicker and Zwift was 290-ish. Now testing using the Quark and Trainer Road, I don't know that it's Trainer Road, but using the Quark, it is about 30 watts lower. And overall, when I'm holding 240 watts, it feels harder now that I'm on the canyon using this Quark meter. So the Quark is feeding Trainer Road, feeding that back to the Kicker, and the Kicker is applying the resistance because I am using erg mode still. I may go away from that as I continue, but for now I'm continuing to use the erg mode. Yeah, I've just noticed that it feels, maybe it's just in my head, a little harder to push the same wattage with the external Quark power meter. So when I published the last video, I completely forgot to do the drawing for my last race week video for the Synergy skin suit, giving away either a sleeved or sleeveless skin suit. Went to random.org, put in 75, there were 75 comments. They went to the comments and it just sorts them kind of randomly and went ahead, generated a number. It was number 31. Scrolled down, counted, and the winner is Scrap El Jefe. So Scrap El Jefe, you are the winner of a sleeved or sleeveless sleeveless Synergy swim skin. I will send you a comment and have you message me, and then I will get you in touch with Synergy.
Oh, I do homework. Get it down, please.
Well, work is done, and before we head out to soccer, I've got some errands to run. I've got a bunch of shipping to do, some OCE gear, and the kids' library's books need to be returned, and hit the grocery store real quick. How are you like parking in the garage?
It's lovely.
Only took you 5 years at the new house to earn a spot in the garage. If she's learned anything, if you talk to me about it enough, eventually I give in. I have to give a shout out to Jess, who I have done a ton of mindset work with. She is a meditation coach, a mindset coach, and part of Yogi Triathlete, and a dear, dear friend of mine. And she just released her brand new book called Awake Athlete. She has an online group called Awake Athlete. They meet every month online through Zoom. She has a Patreon group, and it's great because always working on different skills, basically working on the mastery of the mind. And I can't wait to crack this open. There's Jess. I can't wait to crack this open on my way to Finland. So I'm waiting. I'm not going to open it until I head to the airport. But you can get the book on Amazon. Just search Awake Athlete. Highly recommend it. I haven't even read it yet, but I can guarantee, knowing Jess for as long as I have, and just the wisdom she is constantly just spitting out nonstop. If you've heard their podcast or you've seen her on my videos in the past, she is just full of so much good information. She has helped me come a long way with mindset, whether it comes from feelings and how you react to those, and outlooks on things, and dealing with things that might be going on in life, whether it's raising kids or the issues that come up with marriage and relationships or loss. It could be death, could be things like that. She's amazing, and she works one-on-one with athletes as well. So I would check it out. If you go to yogitriathlete.com, you can learn about Jess there. But I'm excited. I can't wait to crack this book open. But now I'm going to grab Evie. It's time to head to soccer. Ready? Oh, that doesn't look like soccer ready. Wake up, wake up.